Good afternoon. This is Alan Skinner. This week's video presentation discusses the scholarly works obtained by keyword search in the Project Muse database. Now, before I get into my presentation, I wanted to discuss my experiences with Project Muse. Apparently, Liberty University's Shibboleth authentication system was not working properly, so I was unable to access many works beyond the publication information and an abstract. For example, Kimberly LeMay-LaCourcy's 2018 work, Remembering World War I in America, appears to be a great source, especially for understanding the lack of written histories on the National Army divisions. As I was unable to access chapters of the book, I can't really discuss it in this presentation, but I will look for a hard copy, either by purchase or library loan. Now, I found this with several other works on Project Muse. Thus, I really felt that Project Muse was not terribly useful, at least for my particular topic. Now, after some creative searching, I did find enough works to fulfill this assignment requirement. So, the first one, and best, was public historian R. Jackson Marshall's North Carolina in World War I, A Season of Remembrance. Now, he's a graduate of Wake Forest University and recently retired as the director of the North Carolina Historical Society. And shortly after leading the museum's World War commemorative program, which he described as, he had to frame it more like Homer's Iliad and Odyssey than the Britannica Encyclopedia, end quote. Now, of greatest interest was Marshall's description of the primary source holdings in the museum, including oral history recordings of actual World War I veterans, including his own grandfather. In discussing some of the stories, he noted the poignant statistic of about 1,000 North Carolina soldiers died on the last day of the war, and I knew from other sources that a significant number of those men were from the 81st Division, the detailed focus of my dissertation. So, from Marshall's article, I found and bought a used copy of his 1998 volume, Memories of the World War I, North Carolina Doughboys on the Western Front. So hopefully that book will provide some additional useful primary sources. Secondly, Gregory Ball's scholarly work, Raising an Army in Texas in World War I, was written as a organization of the Texas National Guard for war in 1917. Now, Ball's a PhD holder from the University of North Texas and a public historian with the Air Force. And so it's a scholarly approach, written largely of primary sources drawn from newspapers and government records. As his focus is on the Texas National Guard, at first it didn't seem like it was much use to my own topic, but his cogent analysis of the social and political dimensions of volunteerism versus conscription and how Texas organized the draft process appeared to be of some good use for my own research purposes. And the last work is adjunct history professor Thomas Rogers' Billy Yank and G.I. Joe, an exploratory essay on the socio-political dimensions of soldier motivation. And it's drawn principally from soldier memoirs and information culled from specialist secondary works. Rogers compares Civil War era concepts of masculinity, patriotism, and citizenship with those of the World War II era. Now, he points to the socialization of 19th century American male as a key factor in his adopting to military life and combat. Now, by the 20th century, though, Rogers points to major societal changes, primarily industrialization and urbanization, that affect the relation of men to their community and nation. Consequently, new soldiers needed training and time to form cohesive bonds of attachment to perform effectively in battle. So from those findings, Rogers raises an important point, quote, extrapolating findings and ideas from detailed studies must be done with caution because they might be misleading. Soldiers in different eras are not so alike as they might first appear, end quote. So of the discussed works, Marshall's proved of greatest use and pointed to other sources. And plus, he identified a new location to visit and conduct primary source research, the North Carolina Office of Archives and History. Ball's work identified a new line of inquiry, examining how the draft was organized in North and South Carolina. Lastly, Thomas Rogers provides a framework for analyzing the social structure of the First World War era, and a warning to avoid drawing premature conclusions of the motivations of citizen soldiers in 1918. Thank you for watching this presentation. Have a good day.